Hello, once again, you're welcome. It's a Friday and it's the Destin Talk Show, the best teens show all over the world that is online. We always come to you live every Friday right at 8 p.m. on your o'clock, and that is always the Rezlife timing, and we are so proud to be a part of Rezlife. And today in the studio, it's your host Frank Bibleman that is bringing to you the Destin Talk Show, and in the studio today I'm having two big men around me, so I'm one big man chilling with the big boys. You know, how are you doing?
Good.
Yeah.
We're very okay.
Yeah, they are going to introduce themselves to us, and I think I'll begin from this side.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello, I'm John Lucas. I'm from the States. I'm 19. My parents are ministers, and I'm here to visit my friend Azariah over there.
Wow.
Learning about business and talking about ministry and getting to know more about Uganda and Uganda's future.
Wow. That's amazing. So as you came along to visit Azariah, you passed by the Destin Talk Show. Should I say we hijacked you?
Yeah, a little kidnapping.
Yeah, a little kidnapping, but it has worked good.
But you couldn't miss.
I'm glad to be here.
Yeah.
Glad to be here.
How could you miss?
Yeah, you couldn't miss, of course. Yeah, and right this side, hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
I'm Azariah Kyambadde,
Mm.
and I am aka Big Man, aka the one and only. Who else do you know with that name?
Not really, I'm getting to
Ah.
know it from you.
Yeah, the one and only.
Mm.
But yeah, I'm a student,
Yeah.
just finishing up and graduating soon, and soon moving to uni and those things, moving on. But
So, beginning from that side,
mm,
from exactly beginning from that part, where do you see yourself having your uni from? Is it here in Uganda or online or back in the States?
right now I don't know for sure. My plan isn't to go directly into uni. It's to kind of experience stuff, do some different work experience, learn some things about business,
Yeah.
and get some more experience, and I kind of know the direction that I want to go.
Wow. So, Azariah, as we've heard, he's called Azariah Kyambadde, and if he puts that Kyambadde name, then you shouldn't ask me who he is. So, meaning that you know who Kyambadde is, and that's our senior pastor. And before we begin, allow me to salute all the Kyambaddes. Man, we love you so much. The big man and the big lady. We love you, not forgetting Aviana and Rezlife as the entire family. Yeah, so you began from that sector of not first going to the university, but first giving things a try. And you started with business. So I want us to begin from that area because it is so vital also at our age, the teenage age and the youth age. People out there believe that being rich, you must be above 30, above 40, and that is the mentality that we have here in Africa. Yet, to us who have Christ and to us who dream big, who know that impossible is nothing, we know that even at our age, by 19, by 20, by 21, you're meant to be driving, owning a house, and already having yourself a good life, and
Yes.
moreover in God. So, Azariah, what do you have to say about business in line with ministry?
Mine with ministry.
Yeah.
Sometimes people can have an outlook where they think that if you're in ministry, you shouldn't have money at all. you should maybe be broke. You should maybe, you should be suffering. I think I of course don't think that people should be taking from their congregation, stealing offerings and stuff. Of course that's terrible. But if you have someone who's in ministry and they have their own business and they have that way of making income, I think that's a good thing, because the more money that you have, the more change you can make.
True.
You're blessed to be a blessing.
Yeah.
The Bible says.
So you have more money, you can make more change. You have more influence, you can make more change.
True.
So with with that financial gain, you can also help other people gain financially. Because for one, you have knowledge.
Yeah.
Two, you're able to help support people and just put people in the right direction and make it easier for people to pick themselves up. So I don't think that it's bad in ministry to have money.
Yeah.
I think it's bad to get it in bad ways.
Yes.
Yeah, it's bad.
Just like in any profession.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Lucas, do you have something to supplement about what you have just said?
I agree completely. There's a common misconception, even in the States, that, you know, pastors, ministers, people that do work for God should live poorly and live below their means and not be able to prosper or enjoy the blessing that the Bible has for us.
Yeah.
But I think that's wrong. I think people should be able to prosper and are actually supposed to because that's what God has for us.
Wow. Actually, the Bible says that we shall enjoy 100-folds on earth and 100-folds in heaven, and of which some people, I won't say here in Africa, then I'll have to say it globally, that some people tend to ignore that, and people think that suffering is part of, fine, we don't have suffering in ministry, we just have trials in ministry. So people may think that suffering, then if you're suffering in ministry, you're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Being like, I can't afford transport to go somewhere for ministry, so what you're left out to do is to just go out asking people for money, and instead giving people this image that it's like as if my God can't work for me.
Yep.
I'm preaching something that I'm out of. I'm preaching something that hasn't worked out for me. So I love the insight from Azariah, and I love the supplement he has added on it. We should learn how to balance business with ministry, because the two things move hand in hand. After ministry, you're growing, you're going to have a family, and the family shouldn't be this thing that is going to find you from zero. They should find you somewhere and you begin building life together. So I want to cross over to John Lucas's side, the man with a deeper insight in the Bible, as we shall get there too. But what's your insight in line to do with balancing business and ministry?
I think that even if you don't want to be a minister or a pastor or teacher of some organization or officially in ministry, no matter what way life takes you in business or whatever, we're all called to spread the good news of Jesus, no matter what we do officially. So just because you're not a pastor or preacher doesn't mean you can't spread the good news and you can't influence people's lives with the news of Jesus and the blessing that brings, especially financially and with prosperity, that you can impact others in that way in particular.
Wow. Yeah, so it's not all about being a pastor, being an evangelist, being a prophet, being a teacher, that only hinders you from not ministering to people. So, according to what you've said, it's like we are all called and entitled to this.
Yes.
In everything you do, like the pastor today preached, it was in the morning service, where Jesus told his disciples that I was hungry and you fed me. I had no shelter and you sheltered me. I was naked and you clothed me. And then what was running into their minds, they were like, God, when did you become that? When were you hungry? When were you naked? Yeah. So it means that delivering love to someone by giving them hope, you're already extending the good news of the kingdom of God. By feeding someone who is hungry, you're feeding Christ. And that is the best way to preach to someone, by love. So, it's out of the abundance that God has given us that we utilize it to reach out and spread it. So it's not the other way around, that it's out of nothing that you should begin exploiting yourself, straining yourself. Actually, you're going to have a zero ground to have people's attention. Because it's going to be hard for someone to give you attention with nothing in your pocket. Having the reality. God doesn't see you the way you see yourself, that you're broke. That's your own perspective. As to God, he says that I will supply according to my riches in glory. Yeah, so that was about balancing ministry and business. So you should support people looking right into the camera, telling them to start working and start investing. Yeah, so do that, and Azariah is going to do it.
Okay, so if you want to get somewhere financially, you want to build wealth for yourself, you can't expect it to just happen. And on the other hand, you can't expect that it's just going to take forever, so why should I try? Why should I work hard if it's going to take 10, 15, 20 years for me to be at a place of prosperity? You start now and you work hard in smart ways. Just because you want to work hard doesn't mean that you have to strain to a point of pain or extreme discomfort because, you know, you just got to put in the work. There's a saying, I don't know if they say it here, but work smarter, not harder.
Yeah.
And I am a firm believer in that. And I think efficiency and doing things the best way is a really important part of success that a lot of people tend to overlook. And I think it's important that you work hard, yes, but you work smart.
True.
So, but you need to work.
Either way,
Yeah,
so still work.
Yeah.
that is the first question I'm going to take to Azariah. Azariah, how do you think someone can work smarter, more smarter than harder? Yeah, because here we have this type of hard work. Indeed, there are people that work hard, but they earn less. You're going to find people digging roads, but at the end of the day, you're going to find this person working for 10,000 a day. This 10,000 has feeding on it, has transportation on it. So you'll find at the end of the day, he has saved less.
And some even have kids.
And some have kids and some have families.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, he or she has saved less or nothing even at all. So give us a glimpse or give us some tips that you've gotten. And actually, John Lucas, you can feel free to supplement on that. What are some of the tips of how you can work more smarter than harder?
You know, what I would say in a situation like that, to be able to work smarter and not harder, because you know how if someone's pushing themselves really hard and they're trying to focus, like, I want to make more money. If you're struggling, of course you're going to be thinking that, especially if you have kids to pay for, if you have school fees that you're worrying about, if you have a wife or something like that. But I mean, we're talking to youth.
Yeah.
So most of them aren't going to be worrying about those things. They're just worrying about building for those things.
Yeah.
So, like for me, right now, I'm not so worried about becoming rich. You know, of course, if that comes, that's nice. But right now, you know how people have this saying that you're young, do what you want, you know, have fun, you know. Like go drink, go party, go.
Actually, there is this saying, and it's running most of the teens and youths broke. They are like, if your money can't solve that problem, eat
that money.
And they are like, make money, eat money. If that money can't solve your problem, eat it. They're like, eat today, suffer tomorrow.
Yeah,
so.
You know, I think I had that conversation with Trevor. I think we had that conversation. So I think I had that conversation with Trevor, where we were saying, why would you eat your money today so you have nothing tomorrow? Save today so that you don't starve tomorrow.
True.
Save today so that you
Yeah.
have something tomorrow. You know, prepare, and not only financially, but also spiritually and mentally. Prepare yourself. Create a good foundation for your life.
Yeah.
Because everything that you do right now, whether you want to believe it or not, is going to affect you in the future.
Yep.
If you're wasting your money on booze right now, it's going to affect you in the future.
Yeah.
If you're wasting your money in clubs right now, it's going to affect you in the future. And you know, having fun is not a problem, but doing things that are mindless and won't support you in any way, that's a waste of your time, waste of your money. So it doesn't, even taking away the spiritual aspect, it doesn't benefit you at all.
Yeah.
And then if you add in the spiritual aspect, then you're killing your spirit.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I would say that working smarter is preparing yourself, because another thing with that is that when you're preparing yourself mentally and spiritually, then you're also preparing yourself for opportunities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
You'll notice opportunities will pop out when you make yourself ready for them. Even when you don't see them coming, just expect that something will be there once you're ready.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because right now, for me, I'm not rich.
You know.
I don't have money to throw like some of these old men that you see with,
with
stomachs.
big bellies.
Yeah. I'm not like that. But I'm doing the things that I'm saying right now. I'm trying to. I'm trying to do them
You're
better.
trying to invest.
Trying to invest my mind, my spirit into good things.
Wow. I love the statement you made that invest both spiritually and financially. We are not talking about the financial aspect only alone.
Yeah.
But the bigger thing, more than money, is the spiritual sector. So, by beginning to invest in it right now, it's affecting your 5 years from now. It's building your 5 years from now or breaking your 5 years from now. We have born again Christians that pray once in a week, and that's going to be on a Sunday, obviously. There is nothing like having some humble time for Christ, having some humble time for the Word. Someone is going to rely on the Bible that Pastor Kyambadde read for them on Sunday. They are going to rely on the scriptures that Pastor Kyambadde read for them that Sunday, and they shall wait for the following Sunday to continue the spiritual aspect. But all of that is good to invest in it. So, before we cross over to the spiritual aspect, I want also us to talk about saving.
Yes.
I was talking to an entrepreneur yesterday who happens to be my friend since childhood. He deals in housing estates and buying lands and that stuff. So he told me, because at the age of 27, this week he's completing his mother's house. He has built for his mother a house. Yeah, and we used to go to, he's something like 3 years ahead of me, older than me. But he mentioned of a vital statement that I still recall now. He was like, saving has one simple slogan, and it's in line with money. He was like, money says that, save me today and I'll save you tomorrow.
I like that.
Save me today and I'll save you what? Tomorrow. So some youths out there, or some teens, I'll put myself inclusive because I'm a youth too, we are taking saving not so serious, because you can't invest and you don't think of saving, because you're not going to invest and spend at once. So talk about saving.
Yeah, I think saving is very important, and if you just take the time to do a little bit of math based off of whatever money you're making through whatever different things you do, if you just save small amounts of it, you don't have to save like half your income or anything like that, just some, and it builds up over time. And especially if you find any way that you can invest it to have your money make money, I think that is huge. That changes things completely. Any way that you can have your money make money is worth looking into and worth pursuing, because that's less work that you have to do while maintaining the same increase.
Wow.
So you're gaining money by doing nothing. It's your money working for you.
Wow.
And I think if more young people grab onto that, I think it can change a lot of people's lives, because it's like, say you're like 20 right now, and you save money for 5 years till you're 25. You just constantly set aside money. That amount could be something like a year's worth of money. So the money you would have made at 26, you've already made. And then that you can take the larger chunks and invest them so your money makes money for you. And pretty soon, before you know it, it's multiplying itself without you having to do any extra work. You just get rid of some expenses and some spending that doesn't actually have any value for you.
Wow.
Yeah.
This man is economically stable.
Man, you know, the way that we're talking right now, I feel like we should be wearing
Like business
suits and ties. Yeah.
You know what? We are going to get rich. Actually, we are already rich.
Yeah.